you are going to get the best photos and best videos out of the Canon R5 that you will not get out of any other camera. Hey guys, Jeremy Jacobowitz here from Brunch. Boys, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I love seeing each and every single one of you always. This is all about my food adventures all over the world, but today we're doing a little series called Influencer Secrets, which is where I talk about more things, including camera stuff, and I've been doing a lot of videos on cameras recently, including the Canon R5, and this video is all about why I decided to keep the R5 and why I love it oh so very, very much. So let's go back to the beginning. I got the camera day one. I pre-ordered it the second I couldn't be an age. It got here the earliest it could get here. And I've been shooting with it for a month and a half. And obviously there's a lot of controversy around that. And I've done countless videos now about my working with the R5 and working with it in my own workflow, which I think is the most important part. And let's start with the issue that everyone wanted to talk about, overheating. Firmware update, besides the time when I tested it and pushed it beyond its limits, I really didn't come into any overheating issues. That's not to say there are not overheating issues. There clearly are. Just from my workflow, it never really seemed to affect it. So it wasn't such a big concern. But pretty much the day that I had to decide whether I return this camera or not, Canon dropped the firmware 1.1 or whatever it was. And that was very specific. They definitely knew that everyone had to make a decision after 30 days that bought it. And if they didn't get that firmware update out before then, they were gonna have a lot more returns. But they dropped that firmware update along with a bunch of other updates. One of them is that it can record a little bit longer before overheating, but the recovery time seems to be a lot faster too. So since then, I really haven't had any issues and didn't have that many issues beforehand either. So that overheating thing just isn't really a concern. So if we're not going to talk about the overheating thing, let's talk about why then I want to keep this camera. If that's the one thing that was holding me back, what makes this camera so good and why do I think you should buy one? Now, I know like a lot of this, if you missed those previous videos, I'm sort of like saying over and over again, but it's fine. Just to reiterate, I have been shooting on a Canon 5D Mark IV for 4 years, 3.5 years, whatever it's been. So jumping from that to this is significant. Let's talk about sort of my workflow and why I like it. I'm a hybrid shooter. I do a lot of vlogging. I do a lot of food videos, but I also do a lot of photography, mostly food, a lot of photos of me, and I'm by myself. So let's talk about the tools in this that make my life so much easier. Let's start with the flip screen. It is amazing. There's no flip screen on a 5D Mark IV. It makes vlogging and shooting by myself very difficult. I either have to connect it to my phone, which the shitty Wi-Fi connection Canon app on the 5D Mark IV made it okay to work with, but not great. It's honestly easier. The updates, they updated the Wi-Fi within the camera, so it's a little faster. And like, I feel like as I'm taking photos of myself on this, it's like instantaneously happening, where on the old 5D Mark IV, I would take it and it was like such a hesitation that just wasn't working. So I know I'm all over the place. Updated Wi-Fi to Canon app, much better. So that's another reason. But just having a flip screen here so I can monitor audio, make sure I'm looking good, exposure looks good, I can see what's happening, I know we're rolling, and I know everything's working, is just like honestly a game changer for what I have to do. And like I can't go back to not having to flip screen. I mean, it just it has improved the quality of life and workflow for me tremendously. Need the flip screen. Let's talk about the IBIS, the in-body stabilization. Obviously, no stabilization on my 5D Mark IV. IBIS in this camera, I've seen some of my past videos. I had an issue with wobble on the edges. Basically, I was shooting with the EF 1635 with the EF to RF adapter. And it was just, listen, all camera body systems with some sort of in-body stabilization, the wider you get, the more wobble you're going to see. So what I did was, this is how you know I'm all in on RF. I went ahead and upgraded. I bought the RF 15 to 35 to get rid of the significant wobble, at least because of a firmware update in that. Got rid of that wobble when I'm vlogging. So wobble is no longer that big of an issue. If you just want to see the wobble, I mean, I'll show you an example here, but like it was like, ooh, like I got nauseous watching my own footage, but that seems to be gone now too. But just generally shooting handheld in kitchens, oh, my life is so much easier. So basically, I mean, I go back and forth in styles and the way I like to shoot. Most recently, or at least the past year or so, I've just been shooting on a tripod in the kitchens. I don't really move around a lot anyway in there. I'm kind of like, there's just like clean, minimal shots. And the fact that I could basically get those handheld now, but be able to maneuver better. Because in the kitchen, things are going all over the place. So to be on big tripods in a kitchen, there's a lot to move around, more stuff I have to carry. The fact that I could like ditch the tripod, get in the kitchen, be more versatile, get the shots that I really want, reach over here, reach over there, get under, get into that oven. It's just been tremendous. Again, it's something that I don't think I can go back to shooting on a camera like this without in-body stabilization. I need it so bad. Let's just talk about the quality of the videos and photos I'm getting. Unbelievable. The photos look spectacular. The videos, basically I shoot all my videos in 4K HQ. You also have to remember too that because of the crop in 4K on the 5D Mark IV, anytime I was vlogging, I had to drop down at 1080p just to get wide enough, honestly. And I don't have to do that anymore. So I'm not only just going from like normal 5D Mark IV 4K to this, I'm going from 1080p to 4K HQ, which just looks so much better. Oh my God. Autofocus has been great. I see it losing me a little bit in video, honestly, more so than I saw in the Mark IV. To me, that's more of an issue of like a mirrorless, honestly, but the eye detection is insane. Obviously, that is not on the 5D Mark IV, that's only on this. It picks up your eyes and it will catch it. Like I'm looking at it now, like going in and out, like it locks onto my eyes really quickly, especially with the hat on. That would be an issue on the 5D Mark IV. Like it was looking for face detect rather than eye detect. And if I had a hat on, sometimes it wouldn't be able to find me right away. This snaps into focus and it is amazing. Even the animal eye focus is great. I've been fostering a dog and I've been messing around with just photos and videos with her and it, boom, catches her instantly, which is just, again, one of those things that just makes my life easier. Another thing I'm documenting is me shooting log for the first time. So I had an original 5D Mark IV that did not have log built into it. I had to get somebody fixing the camera at Canon, so I actually had them upgrade to log, but I never shot with it just because I was like, I didn't have the computer system, honestly, to be able to properly handle it. But I've been shooting log on this. I promise you guys a follow-up video on that, on shooting log, because I learned a lot about it. But basically what I'm doing is shooting log on this. And I've been using my 5D Mark IV as a B cam while I'm shooting in my own kitchen, shooting log on both. And it's just like, it's honestly night and day working with both of the footage. The dynamic range on this log is significantly better than the 5D Mark IV. Just easier to work with, looks better. I can't say enough about it. Another huge upgrade from what I'm going from to. And yeah, that's kind of it to me. Like there's no reason not to get this camera, especially for me. There's just no reason. Now listen, if you are not invested in Canon lenses, can you look at the Sonys? Sure, but I think that if you're someone like me that is looking for hybrid, you are going to get the best photos and best videos out of the Canon R5 that you will not get out of any other camera. And to me, that's what I do. And I just think it's unparalleled. It is. You know, it's a little pricey, maybe, but to me, it's totally worth it. Could you? I mean, you could look at the other Canon mirrorless stuff, sure, but to me, if I'm going to invest in a camera, just like go all in, give me the best of the best. And I am super happy with this camera. There's at this point, I'm even trying to think of some negative stuff about it. Not really. I mean, I still honestly have to upgrade to the CF Express card. I just learned this the other day, that I thought the CF Express, you could only shoot 8K RAW, you can't do on an SD, and 4K 120 can't do on an SD. Neither one of them I was really gonna mess with. But now apparently you could shoot a different higher bitrate only in the CF card in 4K HQ. So that might be the next upgrade for this camera. But listen, everything you're seeing is just shot on the SD card, and it is looking Hopefully it looks good. It's going to look good. I know it's going to look good. Basically, that's it. That's my recommendation. Get the R5. I think it's wonderful. I think if you're a vlogger, you're going to love it. If you're a photographer, you're absolutely going to love it. And if you're a hybrid shooter like me, it's unparalleled. Especially as I sort of tiptoe my way into the RF lenses. I don't know what I would do next. I mean, I have the Holy Trinity in EF, which is why it's like why the only reason I got this RF lens was because I wanted to get rid of the wobble because it was driving me crazy. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe get the 70-200. I have a 70-200 EF. But it's massive, and to sort of downsize to be able to travel with that, I think be really nice. But yeah, I mean, let me know any questions below you guys have about the R5. I know we've sort of talked endlessly about this, and I've been sort of like updating my journey for a month now. But I love it. I think you guys love it. Ask your questions below and answer, or just like find me on Instagram, Brunch Boys, DM me. I constantly update like to the second stuff in my stories about this camera. So you can do that there too. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Hit the like button. Subscribe. I do a lot of food adventures, but a lot of stuff about cameras as well. Got some like film stuff I've been messing around with, and the log videos coming soon too. I got to do that for you. So yeah, subscribe, notification. You know, all those things are very important. So do all those things. Bye.